this is what this said to Zacchaeus. He said, wow, this rabbi, this Jesus guy, this healer guy, this famous guy that everyone's been talking about, he knows my name. No one in a 5-mile radius knows who I am. They don't want to even look at me because of my job profession, because of how I betrayed everyone. They won't even give me the time of day. They've all been, rejecting my friend requests. But Jesus, He already knows my name. He sent a friend request to me, not me to Him. And not only that, He wants, how many times when someone sends you a friend request on Facebook, you actually go out and have like a meal with them? Like, I get like friend requests from people that I talk to like for like a minute. I don't actually really know them, but they saw me once somewhere, and they said 3 words to me, and all of a sudden they send me a friend request. And I'll accept it. Jesus doesn't know this guy, but He knows his name, and He says, accepts who Zacchaeus is, and says, hey, on top of that, let's meet together. I don't care about your past. I don't care about your social status or the lack of it. I don't care that you're a shorty. But I see, Zacchaeus, what you did. I see, Zacchaeus, that you had the desire that you wanted to see me, and that you did everything in your power to try and see me, regardless of what everyone else is saying. Because imagine if you're the crowd and I'm Zacchaeus, short little guy, I'll be like this. Short little guy, oh, there's Jesus. I don't know if you talk like that. Imagine like the hobbits or something, and there's Jesus. Oh, I want to see Him, so He's like running. And there's a tree, I'll climb up the tree, and I'll get off the tree, and then I can see Jesus. And you're looking at it like, what is Shorty doing? This guy's nuts. There's something wrong with this guy. Hey, Shorty, where are you going? You need some help? Here, you get on my knees, and I'll fling you up. You're not going to do that, obviously. You're just making fun of him. You're mocking him. But Shorty, Zacchaeus, he completely disregards the mocking, the making fun of, because he's just so focused. I'm just going to see Jesus. I don't care about what the crowd says. I'm going to go, climb this tree. I don't care how ridiculous it looks. Jesus saw all that. He recognized all that. And He acknowledges all that and says, hey, Zacchaeus, I know you're short, but I don't even care about your shortness. I don't even care about your resume or how people think about you or treat you or how you're affiliated, associated, how your boss is the Roman authorities. I don't care about that. I'm going to meet with you right now. And so this is what gives me hope. This is what kind of challenges me to keep going even though I fall off so many trees. In my pursuit to try to see Jesus, that I know that Jesus knows my name, Brian. And he's come down and he said, Brian, I know you are an idiot. I acknowledge that and admit that. I have done so many idiotic things in my life that I'm not proud of. And I'm like, wow, Brian, you're so dumb. Brian, I know you've done a lot of dumb things in your life. I know you've done unholy things, sinful things in your life. Things that if you were to tell most Christians at church, they'd be like, you're not a Christian. You shouldn't come to church. It's kind of ironic how we Christians sometimes have like this really bad case of judgmentalism, even though we're all sinners. Brian, I know all that. I know all that about you. I don't care though. I'm still going to meet with you right now. Let's have lunch. Let's get some Subway. I don't know if Jesus likes Subway. I don't really like Subway. I like Quiznos more. Brian, let's get some Quiznos. Sweet toasted bread. That's huge. That is the gospel of grace. That even though Zacchaeus has this kind of spotted, checkered history, even though I have this spotted, checkered history, even though you guys have, I know this is not a room full of, I'm sorry, I'm just spitting over it. I know this is not a room full of angels and saints. Little demons in here, right? No, I was kidding. Or am I? We all have our share. We all have our baggage. We all kind of have our criminal records. Regardless of that. Like, hey, I know your name. We're going to meet right now. I want to have a relationship and be in fellowship with you. Yeah, just want to be with you. And to have a meal with somebody, especially during this time, was like the way to be in a relationship with them. So this is huge stuff. Like, this is more stuff than you would ever learn in your Sunday school class when you're in 3rd grade. So how do we know that Zacchaeus actually had an encounter with the grace of Jesus Christ? Well, it says, in verse 8. So Zacchaeus, Jesus calls out Zacchaeus and chills out with him. Verse 8, but Zacchaeus stood up and said to the Lord, look, Lord, here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor, and if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount. And Jesus says, today salvation has come to this house. See, a guy who had a collision with the grace of Jesus Christ is this guy that gives away half of what he owns, and he gives like 4 times the amount of what he stole, what he ripped off from people. The Old Testament law, and Zacchaeus would have been familiar with this, stated that if you rob someone, if you defrauded someone, you give back what you defrauded them of, and then plus a fifth of it. So if I stole $100 from you, defrauded you of $100, I pay you back $100 plus add $20, a fifth of 100 back on top of, so I give you back $120. Okay, that's what the law called for, the Old Testament law. By Zacchaeus saying that I'm going to give back 4 times the amount, he is acknowledging, saying, wow, I am worse than a common robber. He is acknowledging the depth and the gravity of his sin as a result of having an encounter with the grace of Jesus Christ. Let me explain it another way. Like, you guys, if you go swimming and you're like soaking in the jacuzzi, it's really hot, right? Soaking in it, oh, it feels good, about it, it's, fall asleep or something. It's like you're soaking in it for like 30 minutes, it's really hot. And then you jump into the swimming pool. What does it feel like? It's so cold, it's ice cold, I'm freezing my head off. I was going to say something weird, but it's probably the G-rated way to say it. It's so cold! But if you were to jump into the swimming pool if you did not soak in the swimming pool or in the jacuzzi before, it's like, oh yeah, it's cold, but not freezing cold. You're able to realize the contrast between the jacuzzi water and the regular pool water by having soaked, by having experienced the heat of the jacuzzi. Zacchaeus, he recognized how his sin, how his life, how his lifestyle contrasted so much with the holiness by soaking in the grace of God. And so when he realizes that, after he makes that kind of connection of contrast, it's like, dude, wow, I am kind of screwed up. Wow. And even though I'm screwed up, Jesus still loves me. That's not normal. That's not right. In fact, that's awesome. That's what he does. He responds in kind. He gives up half of what he owns and pays back 4 times the amount. This is the gospel of grace. This is the gospel of Jesus Christ. These are a few things that we can learn from our friend Zacchaeus. He started with a desire. He wanted to see Jesus. And the second thing that he did, well, he just not let that idea just stick in his head, but he actually did everything in his power to make that idea become a reality. And when Jesus saw the effort that he put in, he's like, okay, Zacchaeus, I saw your faith, and I will reward you in kind for your faith. And Zacchaeus is just blown away by this, by Jesus' willingness to reach out to him, to speak to him, to relate to him, to be in fellowship with him. And that changes Zacchaeus' life, flips his life inside out. And that's huge. That's huge for me, because, well, as I've already shared, I know I'm not perfect, and I know I am in need of grace. And, just like how I felt, elated and excited when Diane, the girl that I had a crush on, when she tagged me, I was like, oh, I can die now, because she touched me, she tagged me. We all have this thing, I think, in our We're to be wanted, to be acknowledged, to be recognized. And who better to be recognized than by the creator of the universe? By the beginning, and the end, by the person who sets all things in motion. And so, this morning in closing, why don't we close our eyes?